Hey everyone, welcome to another Anime Kingdom discussion and review. This one is on episode 5 of Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works Season 2. And finally get that action episode. I've been saying, I love the story and everything in it, but like the Berserker versus Archer um versus Gilgamesh fight was kind of wasn't as big. I wanted to fight like how they had in the first season, the first couple episodes, and the last episodes, of course, were pretty dang crazy. And this one really, this battle between Lancer and Archer. And this time, Lancer says that in the first fight that they had, he was pretty much holding back because his master used a command seal on him. But this time he's not, and you can definitely tell that Archer is more on the defensive in this battle. And like Lancer's like super fast all of a sudden, just like when Archer's like barely dodging. It's like their crazy ass fights, and they even we even get to see that like Archer has like something planned. Like he was everything planned, and you could just see that Lancer and Archer really don't like each other. They have like extremely different ideals. The way they think is completely different. Their own ideals, and that last part when he Lancer finally uses he's like, there's another way to use this weapon. And of course, it's not just a lance in a way. You can use it like a spear, throw it. So he does his weird stance for one thing, and then jumps from the air, throws it, and it's like, and what? We finally get to hear those famous words. If you've watched, Fate Stay Night before, and you've heard Archer, I am the bone of my sword. That just gives me chills every time I hear that. Like I love, the whole his whole thing that he says, but him just saying that. Of course, he did say it before. I think it was when he shot an arrow at Berserker during the fight from when he was super far away. I'm pretty sure he said that, and every time I hear that, just like gives me chills. Actually, I think he also said it in the fight versus Caster. So he said it a couple times already, but still, every time gives me chills. And he uses Ro Ias. It's this shield. It's like this huge, like 7 layer kind of shield thing that he uses, and that's not how it usually look. It's supposed to be the shield of. This is why another reason I like Fate is because it's historically it grabs stuff from history, like real, not real, but like myths and legends of heroes and everything. And Ro Ias is the shield that this guy named Ias used, and he was able to defend it against the spear from Hector, and of course Hector of Troy, and no one else before could stop his spear until Ias and his shield, and of course it was just like a regular shield, not like the one Archer did, but that was pretty much what it was supposed to be, and it was just crazy to see that it just like Gable just breaking through all the shields, like the 7 layers, and all of a sudden he's like, oh, Archer barely was able to repel off the Gable. He pretty much lost his feeling in his arm or something. His arm was messed up already, so he couldn't use that. But everything was part of his plan because now, since that's all this is happening, and we do get to see a fight between um, the fight between Shido and Kazuki was kind of lame, to be honest. They didn't really emphasis on that fight. I wanted kind of some a little more, but we did see that it seems like all out of nowhere. I'm not too sure if he's been practicing. Not really shown him practicing, but he can use his the trace on like pretty dang easy now. Like he still shows and said that he has like a limit. He only could do a couple more, but like before, the first time he did it, he just passed out after using it barely. So it's kind of weird that all of a sudden now he can use it like multiple times and make more of them. And then the fight between Rin and Caster was pretty much Rin on the defensive the whole time, and she could have been doing more, but she had to go full on the defense so that none of the Caster's spells were like going. I guess they have a large span of you know distance width, and if she didn't defend the whole thing, then Shido would get hurt. And Kazuki's so there's something with he's protected, so it would hurt Shido, so she has to go like that. And even when she uses all her best spells kind of thing, it says her trump cards in a way, she can't beat her. but then all of a sudden, boom, she has a trap and starts beating her caster up using like, I guess like strengthening her body, just like how Shido strengthens the everything else because she knows how to do that. Everyone knows how to do that kind of spell. It's an easier kind of thing that you learn when you're younger. It's supposed to be, and she's just beating her up. Caster's surprised because what, you're a mage doing this, and I guess nowadays current time mages are learning to fight as well, and it makes sense because come on, the one weakness of a mage is once you get in close combat, you're screwed. Well, this, yeah, but of course she isn't able to finish it. Kazuki ends up hitting her side, and when it seems like, oh no, what is Shido and Rin gonna do? Boom! Here comes Archer, and throws a bunch of his swords, and Caster jumps in the way of Kazuki to protect him. And to be honest, it was kind of sad, even though Caster is bad, or like in a way bad. She's doing all this kind of stuff, these evil stuff. But it was just so sad to see her. She was like, oh, she's had her wish this entire time, kind of thing, because she was with Kazuki. It was so like, oh man, that it's kind of sad, depressing. And even Kazuki, he ends up he's got to finish this, and Archer just cuts him up, kills him, and then he just gets like debris falling onto him, and he dies. So it was kind of like, what the heck. But this was pretty much Archer's whole plan all along. Once Casters was getting distracted and she didn't have her eye on the fight in between Lancer and Archer, and Lancer finished his job already. Archer goes in to kill them, and pretty much then we see that Archer is still trying to kill Shido because he tries to kill him, and even traps Rin between swords because he says that Rin is still not his master. Just because Caster's dead doesn't mean that he's with Rin. They are no longer master and servant. So it seems that finally we're gonna get that fight between Shido and Archer, because there's no way Rin is out of gems. And I'm pretty sure she doesn't have anything else ready for this fight. And as you see, Saber is still weak and hurt at the moment. So we'll have to finally get to see the fight between Archer and Shido. And we also get a little bit more of Shido says, oh, he even says Trace on. He says the same things as me. So you see even more similarities between them, like I said in the last episode of, who Archer really is. And yeah, just seriously, just a whole bunch of crazy things happening in this episode. You can tell by how much I'm talking about it, because seriously, I really enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed the fighting and everything, and just, really good episode, guys. So happy to finally have this huge action-packed episode, and I'm thinking that it's just going to be rolling on some action-packed episode, because seriously now, it's going to be Archer versus Shido, I'm pretty sure, and we still got Gilgamesh in the back, and Lancer is still alive. One thing that's kind of weird that I noticed is in the beginning, they don't always show this kind of stuff, but in the opening, it showed Lancer fighting Caster in a way, but this didn't have that fight, like they were on a street and he was like attacking her. That didn't really happen, so that's kind of weird. And there's also the fact that another fight that could happen is Assassin is still by the temple area, so because even though Caster is gone, he should still have some mana left over to stay there for a little while. And I'm pretty sure something's gonna happen unless he just disappears. It's kind of sad and depressing that he just disappears like that, But yeah, overall, really good episode. That's all I gotta say about the episode. Loved it, enjoyed every minute of it, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this Anime Kingdom discussion and review. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If there's anything I missed and you want to talk about, comment below as well. And until next time, guys, see ya.